Dave in Calgary, thanks for waiting.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
So, hi. I don't know if you remember, Matt. I talked to you a couple weeks ago. I've been having trouble getting on the show, and then you accidentally hung up on me that beginning of that one show. And
yeah, now there's like 4 minutes left.
It's okay. You'll get the rest of the show.
So go for it.
That's exactly why I'm bringing this up, because there's only about 4 minutes left, and I'm not going to get all my topics in now.
Sorry.
You know what? In the 4 minutes, I'll call in again next week if I have time, and we can talk some more about my thoughts on this stuff. But in the 4 minutes I have, I don't want to get too deep. I'd rather actually just say thanks for what you guys are doing, because it's kind of therapy. And my backstory is that as I grew up in Canada, my mom was, and her parents were very religious, and at a young age I didn't really believe in what they were saying and what the church was doing, and I didn't really want to go. And my mom had threatened to kick me out of the house at 12 years old if I didn't go to the church. And since that age, sorry?
That's harsh. At 12?
Yeah,
Wow.
At 12 years old, I was threatened to get kicked out of the
go,
house.
but anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So since then, the whole religious thing has just been a bane in the existence of my entire family, especially between my mom and myself, and it's really broken up the family. And this is one of the reasons why I'm I guess so passionate about this whole topic. Mm-hmm. And then with watching what's been going on with the Catholic Church and all the atrocities that happen there, and then what's going on in the Middle East with ISIS and what's happening there, it's just I've been taking more of a stand recently with this whole thing, and I find you guys to be an inspiration. But I also own my own company, mm-hmm. and I admire the amount of time and energy that has to be put into researching this stuff.
Hey, Dave.
Like you guys, yeah, sorry.
I appreciate all this, but in the last couple minutes of the show, I'd really rather not sit here and talk about how awesome we are. So
I mean, we appreciate that.
I mean, if you've got some kind of question we can address before the show's over. That's what I was saying, is that there's just not enough time to address any of the questions that I have. So I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate what you guys are doing.
And I'll say that, just based on what you've just said, I have seen far too many cases, particularly with very close friends of mine, where religion has just ruptured a family. And that to me that is one of the great tragedies. That these beliefs can turn people against their own flesh and blood. Who would threaten to throw a 12-year-old child out into the world, rudderless and aimless and out on their own, simply for not believing, a particular set of scriptures? Or it infuriates me. I just see red when I hear that. It's like, how could you do that, to your own kid, to someone that you brought into the world? The way in which just beliefs, this religion has such power over people, and it becomes so much more important than your own, than your own loved ones to you. I'll never understand it, and it breaks my heart every time I hear it. But I hear it far more often than stories about, oh, Jesus brought our family together in love and harmony and peace. Never hear, or very rarely hear stories like that. But I always hear the stories about.
That's because you're not in church.
My mom won't talk to me, and probably, I guess not. Yeah, I know. I'm out of the bubble, and I hear what goes on in reality. It's
Matt, sorry to interrupt here, and I don't know how much time you guys have, but
like 15 seconds.
I understand you're saying you'd like to get to a question here, but I think that the point of the show is that people need to hear stories like this, because if you're trying to, educate people on what kind of power religion, imposes over people or kids like myself, and the stories that happen.
Yep.
I hope that people are listening to this and through the format of your show, because this is important for people to hear that it destroys things.
I absolutely agree, and we're like out of time. I'll tell you what the one problem with that is that most of the Christians who hear that say, well, that's nothing like me. That's nothing like my religion. I would never kick my kid out and stuff like that. They think it's something else. Thanks, everybody, for calling in.
Appreciate the call, man.
Thanks to the studio audience and
Thanks
everybody at home
Big
for watching.
audience today.
There's all the people who make the show happen.
Yes.
And tune in next week for Russell, and I forgot who else was on, but they'll be here.
Yes.